everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jonathan, and if you're new here, I'm a fourth year PhD student studying accounting at the University of Waterloo. I know it has been a while since I filmed a video, and I have some major life updates that I want to share with everyone. Right now, I'm actually not living in Canada anymore. I'm living in Chicago in the United States because I've been attending the University of Chicago Booth School of Business for the past few months. For this academic year, I'm actually going to be a visiting student to the University of Chicago, and I'm going to be here until August 2024. For the past couple of months, I've pretty much been adjusting to my new life here in Chicago and at the University of Chicago. In September 2023, my parents and I packed up the car and we drove from Oakville, Ontario to Chicago, Illinois. It was about a 9-hour road trip. And right now I'm actually living in Hyde Park. It's the neighborhood that the University of Chicago is located in. It's super convenient. I'm only about a 10-minute walk away from campus. And I'm living right on 53rd Street, which is really nice because there's a Target right next to me. There's a Trader Joe's about a couple minutes away. So getting all the things that I need in terms of groceries, local transportation, it's super easy and super convenient, which is really good. In terms of the city of Chicago itself, it's actually a really cool city to explore. I've had a couple opportunities to go up to downtown on the weekends to not only do the river walk, but also explore some of the local tourist attractions. My girlfriend was actually here visiting me a couple weeks ago, so we had some time to spend a couple days in the city, going to some museums, trying out some cool food places, especially deep dish pizza. But overall, I am enjoying what Chicago has to offer. I do miss Toronto a little bit and living in Canada, but overall I think it has been a pretty smooth experience transitioning from my life in Canada to my life here in the United States. So some of you might be wondering how I ended up at the University of Chicago in the first place. So it is a bit of a crazy story, to be honest with you. So essentially what happened was about a year ago, the director of my PhD program at the University of Waterloo essentially approached me with this opportunity to send an application in to the University of Chicago as a visiting student. And hearing about this opportunity, I decided to give it a shot because the University of Chicago is really well known for their accounting research. And I thought that, getting the opportunity to spend a year at one of these top elite schools would really help out with my resume and overall just be a really great experience. Talking with the professors here, learning from the students, taking the classes here, and overall just, trying to essentially enrich my PhD experience. So last year, I essentially put together a package. I sent over a writing sample, my cover letter. I got some recommendation letters from my supervisor. And I believe maybe after a couple of months of sending in the application, I got a call from the school saying that I was selected to be one of 3 visiting students for the year. And, obviously I was really excited, but to be frank, a little bit nervous as well at the same time, just because it was going to be such a huge change in my life. But I knew that this was an opportunity that I couldn't pass up. And I knew that I was going to benefit from the experience overall. And so I decided to say yes. And so pretty much for the past few months, maybe since like the early of this year, or maybe around summer of this year, I knew that I was going to be heading to Chicago for this September. So it was pretty much spending a lot of time just making sure that my visa requirements were ready, making sure that I was able to find a spot in Chicago to live, just getting my bank stuff and, pretty much everything you need to move from one country to the next. And so when September rolled around, the transition would be a bit easier. So now that I'm here in Chicago, you're probably wondering what I'm doing here. So as a visiting student, what's really cool is that I'm able to take classes that is offered to the Booth accounting PhD students. So right now I am taking 2 classes, a Foundations of Accounting class, and then one other accounting seminar about disclosure and regulation. Both classes are really, really informative, taught by really great professors, and overall I am enjoying the classes. I am also working as a research assistant for one of the professors here. So thankfully, one of the ways I can earn some income in order to offset some of the costs of living in Chicago is doing some RA work, so that has been extremely helpful as well. And then I guess other than that, I do have the opportunity to attend some of the workshops that are presented here at Booth. So I've been doing that about once or twice a week. And then finally, obviously, I need to work on my thesis because as a 4th year student, the goal is hopefully to hit the job market next year, which means that I need to get a thesis completed, ideally by the summer of next year. So I am working on that as much as I can right now. So I mentioned that I was one of 3 visiting students for this year. So I'm the one from Canada, and then we also have someone from Seoul National University from South Korea, and then we also have someone from the University of Mannheim from Germany. So the 3 of us are all going through this really unique experience, and they have been super nice, really fun to hang out. We've actually explored a little bit of downtown Chicago together. But in addition to those 2, all the students here at Booth have been really nice and really supportive, and overall it's just been a really nice and welcoming environment, which is obviously really great because it just makes the transition here a lot easier. So in terms of campus, it's actually really nice here. The Booth building here in Hyde Park is really grand, super pretty. The architecture is just spectacular. And in addition to the Booth building here, there's also a downtown campus called the Gleacher Center that's located right on the Riverwalk. And I've been there a couple times, and that building itself is also really nice, especially being so convenient right in the heart of the city. And the rest of the campus is honestly really beautiful. The University of Chicago has a lot of historical buildings with really amazing architecture. It honestly feels like I'm living in Hogwarts sometimes, just based on how beautiful some of these buildings are. Like, I thought the University of Toronto St. George campus was really nice, but this campus, hands down, is probably the best campus that I've ever experienced in my life. And sometimes I do get away from the Booth building just so I can study in one of these really old looking buildings and just get that feeling of being at Hogwarts. But overall, the campus has just been spectacular. Hopefully the footage that I have here is doing it justice. And yeah, I think this is a great place. So overall, my experience at the University of Chicago has been going pretty good so far. It honestly is kind of tough, leaving everything behind back in Canada, especially my dog. I miss her a lot, but I think that the opportunity that I have here is going to be really valuable, and hopefully I can make the most of it. And all I can really do is just try to apply myself and work as hard as I can every single day, and hopefully this year will turn out to be really good. In terms of future videos, I'm definitely going to be a little bit more active now that I finally kind of adjusted to my new schedule here. It is really busy, just trying to maintain and balance all the expectations in terms of what I need to do here at Chicago, as well as working on my thesis and managing the responsibilities back at Waterloo. But I think I'm in a place where it's kind of working right now, and so I am looking to put more content about my experience here in Chicago. So definitely wait for more videos that are coming down the pipeline. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. If you guys want more PhD content and want to still follow and support my PhD journey, then don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.